Okay, so now the Batavia train show is over, and this month has really started off with a bang. Just before September started, I was put into the op squad at the Lake Shores Division of the NMRA, and helped three other members. Went to a layout with three other members, and helped them get their layout figured out for operations. I participated in my 21st and 22nd operating session since joining the MRA, both of which in the same layout, Jim Fairbanks layout, which I posted in the community page. The new car, which turns out it possibly needs a body control module, which is $500, which is wonderful. The car was supposed to be something that wasn't going to require a major repair right away. Of course, it doesn't need that to pass inspection, but it does need the wipers to work, and the wiper motor was not the one that's bad on it. It is something else, because put a new wiper motor in it and it didn't work. So something else electrical. That might be the body control module that's doing that. It might be something else. Don't know. Possibly is a BCM. Possibly is that. So yeah, wonderful. So I'm going to have to take out a loan to pay the deposit on the barn, and to tear the roof off the barn and tarp it if they can't get to it before winter. Hopefully they'll be able to get to it before winter, because even with a tarp on it, I don't know if that could handle another winter without a roof. They can get to it immediately. That would be wonderful. Now, Batavia Train Show. I may or may not include the little clip that I filmed at the Batavia Train Show. I don't know. We'll see. But now I'm at home. It's a week after the show, actually. Yeah, it's a week after the show. And I bought some things, less than $300. I wasn't going to spend that much, but I found some things that I wanted, needed, whatever. I now have 48 open hoppers for a layout that has 2 businesses that receive coal and 1 that receives coke. So this small layout now has 220 freight cars that can come on and off the layout. That will eventually get pared down. After a while, I'll start weeding out the modern cars. I still haven't done that completely, but eventually I'll get that done. $15 each. And this is in a box, Athearn blue box, the KDs. South Buffalo, and that is car number 135. Now, I showed Ed O'Connell this. I thought that this was like cement, and I saw marked that. I thought it was like cement because it looked like it was solidly in here. But actually, no, it is a removable coal load. Homemade. It looks like they made it with wood. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not sure what this powder stuff is on the top. It comes off. It's like it's mildew or something. It smells weird. It doesn't smell like mildew. It smells like some type of chemical. I don't know what made the Mod Podge or something like that to make this load. I don't know. But there is coal in there. So I'm gonna have to take these loads out, run them under water, maybe. Use a toothbrush that's not used for teeth. See if I can clean this up, and probably should wear gloves just in case, because I don't know what this is on here. It might react badly with the water. But, so we have South Buffalo, 130. Added to the fleet of hoppers. We have 145, 140, 130, and 110. So we have 5 South Buffalo cars. They'll eventually be put into coke-only service. Right now they're in coal and coke service. So we got a bunch more open hoppers added in. And we got another thing here. Now this one is the gondola. I need another era-appropriate gondola. This one built in March 1940, Chesapeake, Ohio. Of course, makes sense to have Chesapeake and Ohio on a Baltimore, Ohio layout, because they did work very closely together, despite being competitors. So that's a gondola added to the fleet. And then we have this one, Since SA Seaboard Airline 19258, now I have 19260, so adding another Seaboard Airline boxcar to the layout was a decent thought process. So now we have another Seaboard car that will of course be for cotton coming in, and then we have a coil car. This one I think I paid, this was wanted to buy on a thing for 3 for $20. I got this coil car. It's missing some of the top things, but and somebody glued them on with very bad, with very not sure what they used, but it wasn't the right glue. So this is, of course, for the main layout, for the big layout that's going in the barn, but this will be put onto here. It'll replace that other coil car I have that's about the same length. Run it on here for a while just to have it on here, just to get it some run time. And then we have something that I had to put together yet. We have a 5-pack of Baltimore, Ohio coal hoppers. 30954, 301, 31003, 30092, 30141, and 30740. So we have five more 2-bay coal hoppers built December of 1943, January of 1944, February of 1943, March of 1943, and December of 1943. I think I had them all having the same build date, but in JMRI, but that doesn't really matter that much. So I got to take those down and put them together. And then we have another thing that's for this layout that's an unusual one, and I've actually been looking for this is the type of car that I have not had on the layout before. It is actually a refrigerated boxcar. It's a nice bunker reefer. And the reason why I have this is because before refrigeration, you had ice that had to be taken to ice houses. And it would make more sense to, in fact they did local moves very short here in Wyoming County from Silver Lake, where they would cut ice off the lake. They would put it on the flat cars and they would haul it into the ice house in Perry. It was like a mile or less that they would move the ice on a flat car. But they would also load refrigerated boxcars with ice to ship out to other places. Well, we would also need ice in Warsaw. So, ice bunker reefer, Chesapeake, Ohio. You couldn't find a Baltimore, Ohio one. I have not been able to find a B&O reefer, but a C&O one works just as well. So we have one C&O reefer that's going to be bringing in ice to the freight depot. Now, some things that are not going to be used in this layout. With another corn syrup tank car. Now, because of the redesign of the Finger Lakes Northern, I'm actually remodeling part of the Finger Lakes Railway as well. Pactiv and Canandaigua Wine are both going to be industries on my layout that are served by the Finger Lakes Railway, and Finger Lakes Northern is going to run past them on Finger Lakes Railway trackage to reach its own trackage on the other side of Canandaigua. Finger Lakes Northern will run down to where Finger Lakes Railway today now starts, near the Canandaigua Fire Department Station 2, right by Pactiv. They'll run past that, and then they will go past Canandaigua Wine, past where the New York Central Peanut line comes in, and where another local guy has his freelance can be there. So we're going to have an interchange with his layout, his railroad as well, at Canandaigua Yard, along with the Finger Lakes Railway. And Canandaigua Yard is moved down to southeast of Canandaigua on the old PRR, with the brewery is going to be beyond that. But this plus the corn syrup tank car that I bought new is going to be for that, for Canandaigua Wine. Another one that is going to be for the Southern Tier Line layout, and this is a hopper for Watkins Salt, the salt mine in Watkins Glen. Now, this is too new to put on this layout. Otherwise, I would have it bringing salt in, because we have the GNWR boxcars bringing salt into here, but this is built in November 1969, so it's too new for this. But it will be for, and might see some use in the Finger Lakes Northern as well. Now, for the one locomotive I bought. I did buy one locomotive, DCC quick plug equipped. So this is a locomotive for Finger Lakes Northern. One of the many special schemes that Finger Lakes Northern will have, including wherever it is, the Athearn anniversary locomotive. I think I put it up there. Yeah, it's up there. This is an SD45 T-2, Cotton Belt 9389, bicentennial unit. Finger Lakes Northern is going to be running bicentennial units. We're going to have them being that they acquired them after they were retired and then repainted them into bicentennial schemes. But this is the first one that I've actually acquired. I wanted the BIR one. Unfortunately, did not get that one, but yeah. So we have this one. I'll put a DCC in it because I don't think it has DCC. DCC quick plug equipped. I would think that would be DCC ready. So I put DCC and sound in this one, and then we'll have an SD45 T-2. We already have an SD40-2. Now we just need to get an SD45-2 and an SD45. We have SD40-2s, SD40T-2s. Ooh, I also need to get an SD40-2W, SD40-2F, SD40A. Yeah, all those are on my list eventually. But, so, we have a nice red, white, blue, and gold locomotive. So, that's it for the haul. Now, I'm not going to upload this until after I get the loan or get this information. I've already put in an inquiry for about a $5,000 personal loan through my bank. Fortunately, my credit rating is not that good right now because with my mom moving home, did not get her SSI until she had been home for like 2-3 months. So I was having to support her right at the time when I'm getting taxes and all sorts of other things, and with the taxes and possible having to put a BCM in my car, I'm not going to be able to replenish the $2,000 of her money that we had to use for the car to purchase the car, so I'm going to have to take out a loan. Unless something miraculous happens and a whole bunch of money gets donated to the GoFundMe, which I seriously doubt is going to happen, but that's... What's this? Oh, why did I put that back in there? So, I'll be back with any news that I have about the loan. Okay, so it is Sunday, September 21st, 2025, and this is the Hemlock Show video. I already showed you a little bit of the Hemlock Show. I'll pan around. A very small building, working Lakeshore's booth. Spent actually a lot of time there. And I got a bunch of stuff around me. So let's get right into what I bought. Now, first we'll have something that's not going to be used on this layout, and that is this plastic pellet hopper that's for Pactive, because with the redesign of the Finger Lakes Northern, I am now modeling Pactive. Still serve with the Finger Lakes Railway. Finger Lakes Northern is going to have trackage rights in this short section between where the Finger Lakes Railway ends at the state highway north that goes north out of Canandaigua, and where the PRR shoots off east of Canandaigua. We also have some gondolas, a couple B&O gondolas here, 256-505 and 256-510, in a 2-pack. Let's see what I paid for those there, $25. We have, for $12 each, 256 506 and 256 507. Then, of course, we have some covered hoppers. These I spent $5 each for. Chicago and Eastern Illinois, Detroit, Toledo, and Ironton, and Conrail. Another Conrail making an appearance. And, of course, all except the plastic pellet hopper and some others have already been added, and one other have already been added to JMRI. Then, of course, we have a Northern Pacific covered hopper, and then 2 Boston and Maine covered hoppers. Those are all currently loaded with cement. They'll probably change eventually. Now these are being used in this layout, at least temporarily. These are coil cars. We got a couple ICG coil cars. I do not believe they are actually Varneys. They're in Varney boxes, but the Varney boxes are for refrigerated or for a boxcar and a refrigerator. So there's 2 coil cars that are in the roster. Then we have here, we have a B&O hopper, which is actually supposed to be for wood chips, but I'm going to use it for coal until we get the big layout built. Then we have an Acrio kit for Seneca Valley Lines, the Rochester Mile Railroad Club. That they've been sold out of those for a while, so I got one of those. Didn't even know they had them until I bought it. And then, of course, we have Sioux Line boxcar. Sioux Line boxcar. Susquehanna boxcar. Sioux Line boxcar. And Delaware and Hudson boxcar. And I also bought a couple locomotives. Both Athens ready to roll. They were $60 each. DCC ready. So, yeah. Very inexpensive. I mean, DCC ready. I can put DCC and sound in those for probably less than I would pay for a DCC and sound locomotive these days, which are often $300. And these were an unusual purchase. I was thinking about getting one, but then it's like I'm looking at them. The show's almost over. The show's almost over. Well, Saturday, so the show wasn't almost over, but it was almost over for the day. And I'm sitting there and standing there looking at them. It's like, do I need 2 of them? Do I need 2? And it's like they don't fit anything I'm actually modeling. I'm buying them for a couple purposes. One of them is going to be for excursions, and it's like, you know what? They're $60 each. That's 2 locomotives the price of a DCC ready locomotive. Now that nets pre-tariff prices. So I'm getting 2 locomotives for the cost of 1. It's worth it getting 2, even if I don't want one of them in the future. I can always sell it after I put DCC and sound in it for more and actually make money off of the locomotive, or maybe not make make money. Well, if I sold it for the same price that I paid for the speaker and the sound decoder and the locomotive itself, which is less than I would break even on it. So it's like if I decide sometime I want to sell it, I can, and I won't be out anything. So I might as well get both of them. So I did. And so now I have lightning stripes in my house. Because they're New York Central RS3s. Now, the Finger Lakes Northern won't operate much of the Finger Lakes, the New York Central Auburn Road. Own it that much. I'm own a little bit from a curve that's north of Canandaigua down to where the Finger Lakes Railway now is, because I don't have the Finger Lakes Railway not getting that trackage, which is really weird. You would think they would. If Conrail will cast it off, they would cast it off to the person who has been there the longest, but I decided, no, I'm going to have Finger Lakes Railway run there too. And with the Finger Lakes Northern having so much to switch already, they do not need to have Pactive and Canandaigua line to switch as well between their 2 yards. They don't want to do that, so they have Finger Lakes Railway switching those, which is why we have the plastic pellet hopper. So these are excursion power. They're also for taking to a guy in the division's layout that is New York Central. Put DCC in one of these immediately. Maybe not sound, but at least get DCC in there. So, and run it when I'm switching his yard. Switch his yard with an RS3. That would look pretty cool. So, and the decoder for these is $100. It's a Soundtrax PNP8885-815 is the decoder for these locomotives. So I can get that for $100, and then I'll have a DCC not sound locomotive for $160, and then adding a speaker is whatever that would be, which, yeah. So, fairly inexpensive. Now, I know I said that I wasn't going to spend money, all my money was going to go towards the barn, but I got to crunching the numbers, and with taxes and everything, besides what is in my bank account still from the GoFundMe, which does not include the money that'll be replaced eventually, but the money other people have donated, that's still in there. The money that I counted for as my mother's as our donation, that had to come out for emergencies. Unfortunately, it is what it is. But it's our money that came out, not anyone else's, not Mark's or Paul's. Their money, your money, or Bill's. Your money is still in my account. It's not going anywhere. Your money is not going to be used for emergencies coming up. I realized that I am not going to be able to save up the money to do the barn myself. I have to get the loan or something, so there's absolutely no point in me sitting here feeling down every time I see one of the things I want going out of stock, or not being able to go to a train show and buy and feel like I'm actually doing something in the hobby, getting some more things for this layout or for the other layout, and letting my hope stagnate because I don't have the money, because I'm not going to be, it's like, and then getting discouraged again because I can't make up that money. Because with taxes coming up, it's just not possible. So, my credit score is going up slowly, unfortunately, slowly. It's going to take a long time to get back up to the 748 that it was. But you're going to be pursuing a home equity line of credit or a home equity loan because the house is fully paid for. So we might be able to get that, or they might turn it down. With the barn collapsed, what they will most likely do is they will do a home equity loan for the barn, and then they will pay the contractors the money, so they make sure that it's going to the contractors and not going to something else. So it's protecting them. That's what they want. That's what the Genesee Valley Federal Credit Union wants to do. So, which that's fine. That's what the money would be going for anyway. So that would be, they would be loaning me they would be doing a home equity loan for the entire amount, paying the deposit first and then paying it off, and then I would be paying back the home equity loan. Which, if that happens, I'm still going to leave the GoFundMe up, because then people can help pay the loan, and they're still donating towards the barn, and because the sooner that would be paid off, the sooner other work could be done in the barn and all that other stuff, like replacing the entire second floor. I've got to replace most of, if not all of those floorboards. Might not replace it with tongue and groove flooring. I might just replace it with normal plank flooring or plywood. It might end up doing that, because although plywood's a lot heavier to get up there, probably would actually be better to replace it with planks, because it would be easier to carry up there. 4x8 sheets of plywood getting up those stairs, I do not want to imagine what that would be like. So probably going to end up with plank flooring. But I got to replace a few of the floor joists up there and stuff like that. And the sooner that can be done, I mean, with the roof on, that will be the main thing. That will prevent any more water from getting in there. It'll stop rot and stuff like that from happening. I got to get some jacks to jack up the beams that are sagging, and those are $1,000 each. Yeah, very fun, but very doable. Cheaper than tearing it down and building new. So I'm going to be buying stuff, so we'll have some mail call videos and stuff like that, because, as I said, there's no way I can save up the money. There's no way I can save up on our income, even with her income going up, even with her income here now. There's just no way I can do it. There's just no way. So that's it. That's what's going on. Don't have an update on the loan. I haven't applied for it yet, because I wanted to let my credit score go up a little bit more, and it did go up a little bit more before I applied for it. I also got to get some income information and stuff like that, get some paperwork together and stuff like that, which I haven't done yet. I need to call Social Security office and get a statement of her and of what she gets and what I get and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, a whole bunch of hassle. There is a video that I'm working on that's coming up that's not my normal content. It's the Life in New York videos. I've got to film an intro to that. I keep messing it up. I got to film an intro to that, so that will probably be up at some point. You can watch it, not watch it, whatever. Yeah. The second part of that will actually give some hint as to what my lifestyle is like. So, I find that interesting of how I easily, on an income that I've stated is very low, I'm able to afford to buy a decent amount of stuff. So that's it. That's all I can think of to say. So I'm going to go downstairs, get something to drink, and from CP Silver Springs, Mount Post 368, the Norfolk Southern Line. Keep on the trains. Tim out.